Hey YouTube, it's Crazy Kid here, and today we're going to start the grow tent operation. I've already kind of started moving some stuff. I had some temporary blower motors kind of ducked in for temporary, but today I got to move everything out of my messy garage and I'm going to put these black shelves. You see over there the black shelf. I'm going to put that right here with the grow tent right here, and then pipe everything out the wall, an intake and exhaust, and then I got an exhaust for the little AC unit right there. So yeah, but I got all this stupid mess to deal with, just all these other projects. I blew up my mega cab here, so I got half of that all apart over here. One of the injectors blew up on it, so I'm trying to get that fixed. But yeah, see if we can get this one project done, and see if I can get a grow tent operation going to kind of control the heat and all of that. Because right now, if I run just the blower motors, after it gets about a certain degree in here, it stays cool in between the two blower motors. Like I had one mounted right here on the side of my Can-Am, and then I had one hanging where that strap is. So that was intake and this was exhaust. So in between those two, it stayed pretty cool, but you'd start walking around that side of the garage and man, it was just like a heat pocket and heat pocket. And after that heat pocket built up, it would start creeping in over here and overtake the blowers. So, then I kicked the AC on one day and that cooled down the entire garage, which I was extremely surprised about. So I'm really hoping that 10,000 BTU will be enough for my grow tent. The math on that doesn't quite add up. I'm eventually going to put about 5,500 watts in this grow tent is my plan. I got about 3,000, 2,600 to 3,000 going in it right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I'll get moving on this, start moving some stuff, and then catch up with you guys here in a little bit. All right, so got my spot cleared out with my 3 vents. So time to start opening this thing up and seeing if we can get a grow tent in here. I'll show you guys what the vents look like on the outside. They're just some 6-inch dryer vent. I'll walk out there right now and show you guys. So that's what they look like. Just 3 of them. That's my intake, my 2 exhausts. That's gonna feed that tent. So that was the cheapest and easiest way I could find to do it. Just cut a hole in the wall, put that in there, hook your tube up to the tube on the inside. So yeah, let's see how this baby works. Okay, so got my frame up. It really was not too bad so far. I'm really digging this little grow tent. So now just time to wrap it in the skin. All right, got the tent up, there's like a waterproof bladder that goes in here. I got a blower plumbed in right there. I'm gonna plumb my exhaust out there. So yeah, isn't too bad. It wasn't very hard to put together. So I really hope this helps control my temperatures. So I'm starting to break down that shelf, and I'm gonna get that shelf all in there, and boom, we should be up and running soon. Okay, so here's my filter idea. It's gonna be a little prototype. I'm gonna kind of make it like a car filter. Gonna have a tube run in to the box with the filter in it, and then I'm gonna run another tube from the outside of my garage into this side, so then they can get filtered air from in this box from outside, because they don't really have any straight through 6-inch filters. So yep, this is gonna be my plan. So I'm gonna cut it open, then I'm gonna duct tape the holes and kind of duct tape the box up, and then throw it on top of the grow tent and see if she works. So I'm gonna cut some holes and see if I can get everything mounted up in here. So this is kind of the prototype here. Got the hole for the tube that'll go, or the duct that'll go out to the outside of the garage. This is what's going to go into my grow tent. That's the filter. Have it propped up with a little 3D printed drawer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out now, and I'm actually going to wrap this all in foil. just to see if it'll make the box last longer. So if this is going to be temporary, at least it'll be temporary for a longer time. So yeah, it's not coming out too bad though. All right, so here's kind of what we got so far. I'm trying to figure out the piping, but I got the shelving spacing figured out, had a rig down there for trialing, and then I'm going to zip tie the switch up there and just kind of run the cables down to all the different rigs. Got my PDU down there, zip tied to the bottom. I'll run all my power cords. I think I'm going to run the cold duct into here and then have it duct down and just pipe down, so it'll be like shooting cold air down all the way. Then my rigs will pull the cold air through and push it into this hot aisle where I'm going to have a blower motor right there sucking air out. And then I'll have the AC unit sitting right here blowing air that way on extremely hot days. So it should blow that way and then kind of go into the cold aisle. Get sucked back into the hot aisle by the rigs out the, well, actually it'll be just AC, it'll just circulate, but so yeah, that's kind of what we got going today. My wife is actually wrapping my intake box with foil right now so I can continue on this. So let's go check on her real quick. So here we are doing some wrapping of this box. She's almost halfway done here, so hopefully this makes it last a lot longer than it just getting moisture and getting soggy and kind of wilting on us in like a month or so. Coming out pretty good, looking good. Okay, that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to put it up on top of my tent, push that tube in and duct tape it up, close it all up, and that'll be the intake side. Pretty stoked. Alright, so got my cold air coming in here, goes into that box, comes out filtered air, and it's going to go right into this blower motor. This will just go sloop, and boom. So I'm pretty stoked because it's really dry and dusty here in the summer, so I don't want to be blowing off my side yard and forget and just blow a bunch of dirt in here. So it's got a nice big charcoal double filter in there with a little like felt thing around it, so hopefully it keeps the dust out. So okay, it's all done. I'm not all done. I got all this stuff to put away and just stuff everywhere, but got the grow tent up. The only thing I don't like is this door right here. They sewed, like, there's a little flap. I'll show you. This little flap on the door right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's turn on the flash. So see this little flap? They sewed it so tight down there that no matter what, every time you use the zipper, it gets caught in the zipper. So I literally just struggled for like 45 minutes trying to get this to close back up. Finally got it to close back up, and now I have to zip tie these shut so nobody comes and messes with it, because it'll just fuck the zipper all up, and I'm frustrated. Yeah, I could RMA it and spend another whole day tearing this all apart again. It's just dumb, but it just sucks. Seems like everything you buy nowadays is shitty quality. Well, that's life, I guess. Other than that, everything seems to be working pretty good. I'll show you the inside. Make sure this zipper doesn't break. So here's the inside. I got one rig there, one rig there. A bunch of laptops are gonna go there on that towel. And I got a Mystic Miner 12 GPU case that's gonna go right here. And yeah, so I got my my intake coming in over there, and the dumps right here in the middle. I got this exhaust right here, just shoots out there. So yeah, we'll see how she does. This would be the hot aisle in the back here. This would be the hot aisle, and in the front would be the cool aisle. Little AC over there. Takes a bunch of air over to the cool aisle when it's going to be really hot in the summer. So hopefully this gets me through for a little bit. I did leave myself like a little bit of room right here to do some future upgrades, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me show you guys kind of what it looks like from the front of yeah, and everything kind of just goes out that way. So yeah, I mean, it's hopefully this does the job and doesn't cause more heat. We'll find out. All right, so it's been like 5 minutes since I've had my machines running and everything's already overheating. So yeah, not too stoked about the grow tent so far. I got two 440 CFM blowers and it's not keeping this thing even remotely cool. So that sucks. When legit I could have my garage door cracked about a foot, about half that box fan, and one box fan drawing air in and pushing air out was enough to keep my entire garage cool. So, you know, these two blower motors alone draw more power than those box fans, and they're not even keeping the dang, they're not keeping anything cool at all. So I don't know if, you know, people are just a lot cooler where I am and this is working, but I mean, it is like 47 degrees outside right now, and yeah, this sucks. So I don't know, I'm gonna try to look at some more options here and see if I can dial this in, but so far the grow tent's a big lose. So I mean, we did a grow tent with my other buddy, and you know, that one seemed to work out, but this one seems to be losing. So if I leave this open, it works just fine with one garage fan or floor fan. So I guess I'm gonna try to get a 8-inch duct fan and double my CFM. And I'll use these two 440 CFM duct fans to suck air in, and I'll use one 8-inch duct fan to suck air out, and that should give me 800 CFM instead of 400 CFM. So maybe that'll work. If it doesn't, then I guess I'll just run the garage until winter. I mean, until summer, when I can run my AC, because that AC unit in there works just fine. So a little disappointed with the tent, but hopefully I can get it dialed in and get her figured out. Okay, so some final thoughts on this. I do need more airflow in there, so I am getting an 8-inch AC fan. Not AC fan, but AC Infinity duct fan. But here's the thing I'm going to run into is power consumption. So I have these floor fans, okay? Two of those keep my entire garage cold with the garage cracked, okay? And both of those running take as much as one of these fans. So I'm going to try to get this all to work with ducting and airflow, but I think what I'm going to end up having to do is ditch all the inline fans, and I'm going to have to come up with a different solution due to power consumption. You start running 3 or 4 inline fans, so when my new fan comes in and these two 440 CFM inline fans I already have, plus the 800 CFM new AC Infinity fan, if all 3 of those are running at full tilt, it's going to pull like 500 watts. You're talking my AC unit in there only pulls 1,000 at max, and then it kicks on and off. So it could be on average like 800, 750 watts. I just hooked a meter up to it, so I'll figure that out over the summer. But I mean, the point of air circulation and everything is to keep, you know, the power cost down. So right now what I'm having to do is just turn the blower motors off, open this thing wide up as it was just in open air, and run the fans with the garage cracked. I mean, it's open right now for light in the video, but you know, so right now with 2 floor fans, you can see it's taking about 130 watts to run those 2 floor fans on low. And to run one of those blower motors, one of these on high, is the same, 130 watts. So let's say if that AC Infinity does end up working, I hear those on high can pull 230 watts, not the 80 watts that the website says. Everybody's always mad about that. So I'm going to be pulling close to 500 watts just to keep this vented, when I could have done the same thing with floor fans for, you know, dang near a quarter of the wattage. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. My backup plan is to cut out vents in the garage, and then I will, on the other side of the grow tent, just using this as an example, I'll cut a hole in my wall and put a exhaust fan, like an industrial exhaust fan. So I'll do that in the corner back behind the grow tent, and then I'll put the louvers actually over there on that side of the garage. And then what that'll allow me to do is it'll create a draft that'll come across the entire garage and into the tent right where the fan is. Because you still do need a grow tent for the summertime. It's going to be 110 here, and my garage, I'm sure, is going to be 110. So when I seal this up and pump cold air into here, that's going to help a ton. I don't know if it's going to be enough cooling with that one AC unit, but we will find out. But so far, ducting, airflow movement doesn't seem to be a good way to do it without costing a bunch of power. If you guys know something better, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see it yet. I'll try out the AC Infinity fan in a couple of days when it shows up, but yeah, kind of half disappointed with this so far. So my box is holding up really well though, so I'm pretty stoked about that. At least my intake's working. So what do you think about this whole grow tent debacle? You just want to hold my phone, huh?
Uh-huh.
No.
Bye.